Yes, Ubisoft just revealed their post-launch plans for Assassin's Creed Shadows. It has some really great things, but I also have some question marks. Like, I don't really get what the plan is here, but we'll touch on that later. Let's get you up to speed first. I want to go in chronological order. So in early May, likely on May 6th, next week, as the update was already added to the database, we will get our first free mission called The Works of Louis Frois that will let us learn more about this Portuguese Catholic priest who we of course already saw a few times during the main story. It will be very interesting to see how long these missions are. Can they be compared to the Lost Tales of Greece from Odyssey that were easily 30 to 45 minutes long, or will it be more like the pre-order mission from Shadows that was only 10 minutes or so, way too short of course. Ubisoft will namely add more of these missions that will focus on other fan favorite characters, and these missions should also include new allies, activities and abilities. So it sounds like some pretty beefy stuff. Again, the first quest we get on May 6th will be very telling. We also get a codex update, although it's unclear what they mean by that, and other quality of life improvements. They might bring back that sell all feature, and hopefully there are some surprises as well. Then in late May we get the first, so there are likely multiple parkour updates, with this first one adding the height gaining back ejects, the height gaining side ejects that look very cool, and also a very nice and new addition. Right now, when running up to a low overhang, Naue cannot grab onto it, only when using nearby objects, a beam, or sometimes the wall if possible, but that doesn't look great. This will change though with this update in late May. And late May is probably the 27th, so we're looking at a 3-week update schedule. At least that's what they're aiming for right now. And that May 27th update also includes photo mode improvements like character poses and facial expressions to get it up to modern standards. So that's really cool, and they're also adding a way to add ambient music to your photos. I don't really get why this is like a thing, but I'm not like a huge photo mode geek, so let me know in the comments down below if you know why. Now in May they also have a special collaboration, but they don't mention anything about this. We had collaborations before in Valhalla at the end of the life cycle where they added Monster Hunter and Destiny armor sets with special weapons, and they were kind of crazy and over the top, so I think that is likely what this is going to be as well, so basically paid Helix items. In Origins they did a Final Fantasy collab that also added a new mission, so I hope it's more than just a Helix pack, but maybe they do like a Doom collab because it launches around that time. Ghost of Yotei would of course be really awesome for a potential future collab. When we learn more about that, I'll of course let you know. And I'm by the way starting a Helix pack giveaway, so you can get one of those store packs if you want. Leave a like and be a subscriber and they can enter the giveaway via the link in the pinned comment. Moving on to the June update, which will be on June 17th if they keep the 3-week schedule up, or June 24th. And this is a big one. It for one includes the option to turn off the assassination filters, ability filters and outlines for your character during stealth. I know some people really wanted that. I think I will just keep it on. I think it's handy to know when the shadow effect is actually active. This June patch also includes an update to the alarm system. Right now, of course, guardians only spawn when you get alerted in a camp when an enemy rings the bell, but they want to bring that to the open world. No info on how, but I would imagine it's a meter of some sort like the recent games. Also in the June update we get a harder difficulty setting for combat and stealth. While no details were given, I expect for combat like a lethal difficulty where the time to kill will be way shorter, but you die really fast too. You can already kind of play like that with the right perks on Yasuke, but should be fun with Naue as well. And yeah, for stealth, this might mean even less forgiving AI for enemies. The June patch also includes the second free quest, which will even include a new ally that can join your league. So if they are as long as the other ally missions, then I expect this one to be pretty big. And of course having a new companion to summon is kinda cool. And you already see it mentioned here, headgear in cutscenes is also something they have for the June update, although Simon in the video implies that this will be later. But yeah, for one, really cool that they are doing this. Slider V2 actually already released a mod for it on PC that you already saw in action. We'll leave a link to it in the video description. So hope we get the feature in June. We'll keep you posted, of course, here on the channel. We also got this image that has New Game Plus on it, and it really seems like it will be bigger than the New Game Plus editions we had in the previous games. Simon, the associate game director, already hinted at some extra progression elements, potential new rewards, and he now confirmed in the video that the level cap will be significantly raised with New Game Plus. So to 80 at the minimum, I would say. Again, hold on to your gold for when that happens, because you're going to need it. So yes, in terms of community feedback, I think they're nailing it, and they're really adding cool quality of life things that we want at a pretty rapid pace. No word on damage numbers or a stat page yet, but I would not be surprised if those are included in one of the 3 updates that we already discussed. Still, there are some things that I don't really understand or are kind of disappointing to me. For one, there's still no release date for the first DLC, The Claws of Awaji. They only showed the same footage that we have for 2 months already. Like, that's overall kind of a small thing, but that I still think would be cool. This image, for example, has no new assets. It's all reused stuff from before launch. Would be cool to actually tease some future stuff here, right? But I digress. The lack of a release date for the first expansion is kind of a big deal, because if I'm looking at everything that is coming from now till like mid-July, there's very little actual content here. So if you, like me, already finished almost everything the game has to offer, you will have 3 days where it actually makes sense to jump into the game. And that is when a new update launches, to play the new mission, see the changes, and then bounce, because there's nothing to keep you in. And right now, 11% of the player base on PS5 has the final trophy for beating the story. Sure, that's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but remember that these are the most hardcore players, and that 10 to 15% usually sticks around for the post-launch stuff anyways. Only 5.1% of Valhalla players finished the Wrath of the Druids. Only 4.7% of the players in Valhalla got a gold medal in the first Mastery Challenge, which a free activity you can do pretty early on. So I think this overall not so great for the most hardcore players that stick around for the post-launch stuff. We got the first DLC for Origins less than 3 months after launch. Now sure, Claws of Awaji with 10 plus hours of new content will be bigger, but with them not giving a date, I think the DLC will likely launch in August or September, so it would be around the same time as the Wrath of the Druids DLC launched for Valhalla, but that was way bigger. Now you could say I still can do my projects and the weeklies, so that will be something for each week for sure, but you are probably already well on your way for your second project if you did most of the weekly missions. And well, they just confirmed that there won't be any new Animus content until the summer, and that's kinda crazy to me. It feels like they had a lot of time to plan the Animus hub out, but what we got at launch is just the Reda system from Valhalla in a different menu, and then it takes half a year for new content. I just don't really get it. Maybe I was expecting too much, maybe because they also got this big co-op mode in the works and even a PvP mode potentially, as mentions were recently found in the game files, that they split up the post-launch team in half, so that's why it's kinda bare bones in terms of actual new content, but your takes are of course more than welcome. Maybe you think that I'm not making sense, like let me know. To me, as someone who has covered all these post-launches for AC RPGs, this just feels lacking. But I hope I'm wrong for when the update hits. Maybe there's more they did not talk about. Just subscribe to not miss anything, of course. A like on the video would be great. And check out my previous video by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.